Did you know the average person spends over $18,000 a year on non-essential items? That's right, $18,000. If you really think about it, most of that money goes to things we don't even need. It's easy to get caught up in spending on the little things, but those little things can add up fast. In this video, I'm going to share 6 things I no longer buy, and how cutting them out has saved me hundreds of dollars. Some of these might surprise you. Whether it's that daily coffee, the streaming services you rarely use, or even brand name products, I'm about to show you how to stop wasting money without feeling deprived. Trust me, these changes are easier than you think. Stay tuned to learn how these small switches can make a huge difference in your wallet. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Coffee Shop Myth. Why I stopped paying for brews. We've all been there, the daily coffee run. You know, that $4 latte that you think is no big deal. But if you're anything like me, those little cups of caffeine can add up. According to a 2023 study, the average person spends about $1,100 per year on coffee shop drinks. That's crazy, right? When I decided to cut back, I started brewing my coffee at home. And not just any coffee, good coffee. I invested in a quality French press, which cost me $25, but it paid for itself within a month. Plus, I buy ground coffee in bulk for a fraction of the price. It's a win-win. Now, every morning, I get a cup just as good, if not better, than what I'd get at Starbucks for a tiny fraction of the cost. But here's the kicker: you don't need fancy gadgets. A $10 pour-over kit and a bag of quality coffee can save you hundreds of dollars a year. The key is consistency. Brew your coffee once, and you'll be hooked. Once I made the switch, I realized it wasn't just about saving money, it was about reclaiming control over my mornings. Tip: you don't have to quit coffee altogether. Just make it at home. It's easy, it's cheaper, and it feels great. Chapter 2. Subscription services. The silent wallet killer. Subscriptions are sneaky. They seem small, but they quickly add up. Whether it's a monthly streaming service, a meal kit, or even a magazine subscription, many of us are paying for things we don't even use. In fact, the average American spends around $273 a month on subscription services, sometimes even for stuff they barely use. That's over $3,200 a year. I decided to take a hard look at what I was subscribed to. The first thing to go? Streaming services I wasn't watching. I kept the ones I actually used, Netflix for movies and YouTube for music, but I said goodbye to the others. It took me just 10 minutes to cancel, and instantly, my bank account was breathing easier. But that's not all. I started meal planning instead of subscribing to those meal kits. While meal kits are convenient, they are way more expensive than buying ingredients at the store and cooking from scratch. According to a 2022 survey, Americans spend about 70% more on meals when using meal kit services. So I swapped that convenience for a bit of planning and saved hundreds of dollars. Tip: do a subscription audit. If you're not using it, cancel it. You might be surprised how much you're spending without even realizing it. Chapter 3. The Brand Name Trap. Why I switched to generics. Let's talk about the brand name trap. I used to think only the best products were worth buying, the ones with fancy logos and high prices. But guess what? Many generic brands offer the same quality for a fraction of the price. According to a 2021 Consumer Reports study, nearly 60% of consumers reported that generic products were just as good, if not better, than name brand options. It all started with groceries. I swapped my name brand ketchup for store brand ketchup and couldn't tell the difference. Then I tried generic toothpaste, soap, and even cereal. I was saving money without even thinking about it. Over time, I realized that sticking with brand name products was more about habit than necessity. Now, I always check the price difference between name brand and generic products. And guess what? I buy the generic every time, unless there's a real, noticeable difference. On average, generic products are 30–50% cheaper. That's a huge saving, especially when you buy items like household cleaning products, medication, and pantry staples. Tip: look beyond the brand. Generic doesn't mean low quality. Often, it's exactly the same product, just cheaper. If you're enjoying these tips so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got more ways to save coming your way. Chapter 4. Fast Fashion Fallacy. How I'm saving by embracing timeless pieces. Fast fashion is tempting. It promises trendy clothes at rock-bottom prices, but the truth is, those cheap outfits come with a high cost. Not just to your wallet, but to the environment as well. According to the UN, the fashion industry is the second largest polluter in the world. Fast fashion creates tons of waste and uses up resources, all for a fleeting trend. But what if you could break free from the cycle? I started focusing on quality over quantity. Instead of buying 5 new items every month, I invested in timeless pieces that would last for years. A good pair of jeans, a solid jacket, or a versatile dress can go a long way. Quality pieces may have a higher upfront cost, but over time, they save you money because they don't fall apart after one season. I also embraced thrift stores. You'd be surprised at how many high-quality, gently used clothes you can find for a fraction of retail price. According to ThredUp's 2023 resale report, 33% of consumers are shopping secondhand, and it's a trend that's growing every year. Plus, buying secondhand is eco-friendly. Another strategy? Building a capsule wardrobe. The idea is to have a small collection of clothing that all works well together, reducing the need for constant shopping. I found that I didn't need a closet full of clothes to feel stylish. I just needed a few high-quality staples I could mix and match. Tip: invest in classics. A well-tailored coat or a great pair of shoes will save you from endless spending on fleeting trends. Chapter 5. The Beauty Products Trap. My simplified skincare routine. Beauty products are another area where spending can get out of hand. I used to have a whole collection of serums, creams, and masks, each promising to do something magical. But over time, I realized that most of these products didn't deliver on their promises, and they were draining my wallet. The average American woman spends about $300 per year on skincare products alone, and much of that is on items that don't really make a noticeable difference. So I decided to simplify. I started focusing on a few essential, high-quality products that I knew would work for my skin. This included a good cleanser, a moisturizer with SPF, and a basic exfoliant. The results were amazing. My skin looked just as good, if not better, and I wasn't wasting money on products that promised miracles. Another benefit? I now had more time in my day because my skincare routine was shorter and more focused. I also turned to DIY skincare. For example, instead of buying a pricey lip scrub, I started using sugar and honey. It's simple, natural, and effective. This helped me save even more money and avoid unnecessary chemicals. Tip: less is more when it comes to beauty. A minimalistic approach to skincare can save you money without sacrificing results. Chapter 6. Impulse buys. The art of saying no to temptation. We've all been there, standing in line at the store, with a shiny object tempting us to make an impulse buy. It could be anything: a trendy gadget, a cute piece of decor, or even a snack you didn't plan on buying. But those little purchases add up fast. Studies show that the average person spends $450 a month on impulse buys. That's $5,400 a year. I realized that I needed to curb my impulse buying habits. The first step was becoming aware of my triggers. For me, it was browsing online stores when I was bored. So I set boundaries. Now, before I make a non-essential purchase, I wait 24 hours. This simple strategy helps me evaluate whether I truly need the item or if I'm just being tempted by the moment. I also started using the one in, one out rule. Every time I want to buy something new, I first check what I already have. If I don't need the item, I put it back. This helped me avoid unnecessary clutter in my home and my bank account. Another strategy I tried was using a budget app. These apps help track your spending and keep you accountable. When you see how much you've spent on little things, it's easier to say no next time. Tip: next time you're about to make an impulse buy, pause. Give yourself 24 hours to think it through. You'll save money, and often, you'll realize you didn't need it after all. If you liked these tips, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more ways to save money and live smarter. Let's keep the savings rolling.